Welcome to my YouTube channel and another micro lesson, this time on New Kid, a grade 7 piece. It's a swing style piece, very extrovert and quite challenging, but in a really fun way, I think. I prepared a performance of this earlier on my grand piano downstairs, so I'm going to play this for you now so you can see it played by the composer on a grand piano. When you're preparing New Kid, look at the phrasing immediately. It's all swung for a start, but also it's got varying phrase lengths. The first phrase in the right hand, I always think the first note of a phrase in my pieces can have a slight accent because you're dropping on the first note. And when it gets to those staccatos, I'm dropping to the bottom of the key and bouncing straight up off it, like that. So you're in the air in between the staccato notes and ready to play the next one in the same way. The two note slurs, there's definitely a down-up movement with the wrist, down, up. And the up means that you float off the second chord and don't give it an accent. So, ya-dum. Think of it like that. I always think of it in hand movements a bit like that. So the phrasing is very important. Left hand, just staccato, but... And the same thing, down, up. And then in the second line, grace note, did you notice how I'm playing that? I'm playing both notes at once, like that, but I'm letting the first note go immediately, like that. There's an actual accent written here. So think of that almost as a little bit of arm wave being added into the drop. And then there's a series of accents. So you've got a series of accents there, all drops of the arm. So that's very important. So there's various things connected to the first section there, which I'm talking about. When it gets to the second section, this goes down to mezzo piano and suddenly is much lighter. Left hand, keep it very light. I mean, almost think of it as piano to the right hand's mezzo piano. And the right hand, all the time, beautifully phrased, and I'm almost just using finger weight there. You can see how I'm doing that. So use the arm weight specifically when you need to get louder and stronger, like when it gets this build up, more weight, and then full arm weight there. And then the second section is that light section. The third section has this lovely smooth left hand. And all the time, the last note of the phrase, you're kind of coming off so that you can get to the first note of the next phrase. And the right hand, again, very specific phrasing. So left hand stays very smooth and supportive and underneath the level of the right hand. The right hand plays very specifically in terms of phrasing, and also you want to try and shape. So you can see that you're playing it like a woodwind player there, and you're shaping off the last note of the phrase. That builds up very nicely to something which is a wonderful style of piano playing. We've got all this octaves and chords in between. And I'm staying close to the keys, but I'm really keeping a flexible wrist there. You can hear that. The scales, keep them all very close to the key, and again shape them nicely. The triplets, I've got a slight drop of the wrist on each of the first notes of the triplets there, and the piece really needs to keep the constant beat all the way through. It's exactly the same speed, and it's worth looking out for the backing track. The backing track's available from ChristopherNorton.com, from the Boosey and Hawkes website, and on digital platforms. But it's really worth looking for. Superscore, which is on the iPad, also has the jazz preludes, and the backing track's on there in a way that you can actually take the piano out, slow it down, all that sort of thing. That's worth looking at as well. The very end, so you're taking the weight off more and more, and then a double forte last note, which actually should make the examiner, or indeed your audience, jump. So it's a real fun ending to that piece as well. So do have fun with this. It's got lots of specific things in it. I've given you some pointers, and I think you'll enjoy working on it, and hopefully you'll wow your audiences with it as well. Thanks for listening. Do like and subscribe. See you in the next micro lesson. Bye for now.